1960 who? 19. Hey, the Motor City is burning. That ain't right. 1960 what? 1960 who? 1960 what? 1960 who? 19. Hey, the Motor City is burning, y'all. That ain't right. There was a man, voice of a people, standing on the balcony of the rainbow hotel. Shots rang out. Yes, it was a gun. He was the only one to fall down, y'all. That ain't right. Then his people scream, ain't no need for sunlight, ain't no need for moonlight, ain't no need for street light, just burning real bright. Some folks say we gon' fight, 'cause this here thing just ain't right. 1960 what? 1960 who? 1960 what? 1960 who? 19. Hey, the Motor City is burning, y'all. Ooh, the Motor City is burning, y'all. Great God Almighty, the Motor City is burning.
A man we had just tried to stare me down, and when I looked at you, you looked at the ground. I don't know who he is, but I think that you do. That comment, who is he and what is he to you? I had something in my heart and in your eyes. Tell me he's not someone just passing by. I intend to clear your throat. Was that your cue? That comment, who is he and what is he to you?
around, and now my life's upside down. Imagine that. And it's all because I heard you say. And it's all because I heard you say. And it's all because I walked your way. And I heard you say, I heard you say, and I heard you say, I heard you say, and I heard you say, I heard you say, I heard you say, I heard you say, and I heard you say, I heard you say, and I heard you say, and I heard you say, 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 and I heard you say. I'm just right. You got to sit tight. Close your eyes and let your head roll down. Get your feet up off the ground and let your head roll down. Get your feet up off the ground. Just an ordinary day till you came around. I had my head straight and sound. And they've told me that just an ordinary day till you came around. And now my life's on the bounce. Just like that. And it's all because I walked your way. And it's all because I heard you say. And I should've known to stay away. But I heard you say, I heard you say, and I heard you say, I heard you say, and I heard you say, I heard you say, I heard you say, I heard you say, and I heard you say, I heard you say, and I heard you say, and I heard you say, 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 and I heard you say.
DJ Storm Norm the General, bringing the heat.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WBKS1.com. We're broadcasting live from Beth's Kept Secrets Entertainment Studios here in beautiful Central Jersey, and you are now in the game. I am your host, O-Dog, the Stat Tech. O-Dog in the house. To my right, she is
Coach V.
To my left, he is
Short Fuse, aka the Ghost. I'm not sure if you're using two mics. I don't open them all up.
All right. Well, you know me. I like to switch back and forth. You know, I go back and forth from mic to mic. I don't know. It just depends on where I'm at because, you know, and sometimes I look, I want to see my face. I don't know. Anyway, what's going on? Let's get started. So much fun stuff going on in sports. We are on borrowed time. We had Storm Norn leading off the show. The General came on and did give us a nice set, little old school house music. Call us. Storm. Got the computer still on. Live radio, folks. Live radio.
Hand me the
There we go. There we go. Callers, you can call in the show at 646-233-1302. Again, 646-233-1302. You can tweet the show at In The Game BKS1. You can tweet me at ODogWBKS1. You can tweet Ghost at
Ghost BKS1.
And Coach V at
What else?
Twitter
Twitter at VH Show.
At VH Show.
I guess. I don't know.
All right. Well, yeah, let's move on. We'll keep it moving. Today's birthdays. You know, we go through the birthdays, celebrity birthdays. Celebrate the director.
Before we do that, Laverne and Shirley. Laverne passed away today.
Man. Jeez.
I want to get that before we got to the birthdays.
All right. Well, rest in peace, Laverne and Shirley.
Yes.
You know what? Does anybody name their kids Laverne anymore?
There's certain old names you just don't name your kids no more.
Like Ruby,
Bernie.
Yeah.
Gertrude.
Ethel.
Yeah, you don't do those names.
There's no Ethel today.
No.
There's no kids growing up with Ethel. All right, in today's birthday, celebrated director who achieved box office records with the blockbuster films like Jaws, E.T., and Jurassic Park. He won the Academy Award for Best Director.
Who?
For Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan. Do you know who that is?
No.
Steven Spielberg is 72 today.
Oh, wow.
Born today in 1917 in Cogdell, Georgia, as Rayford Chapman Davis. He was an actor and writer known for Do the Right Thing, Bubba Hotep, and Grumpy Old Men. Ghost, any guess? Coach V?
Nah, I don't. Who?
The legendary actor and civil rights activist Ossie Davis was born today in 1917. Hollywood star who played lead roles in Moneyball, Fight Club, The Curious Case of Benjamin Booth, Burton Button, World War Z, Inglourious Bastards.
Who I know?
Who is it?
Brad Pitt.
Is 55 today. American actor and director. Nobody's going to get this. This one I threw in for me because it's kind of an old school throwback. He played the role of Theodore Calvin in the television series Magnum P.I. You remember that show?
Yeah.
They brought it back today, and it was Roger E. Mosley. He's 80.
Which one was he?
He was the black guy.
Oh.
You remember that?
I don't remember. I don't know actors' names.
Okay. Well, now you know.
I won't remember.
All right. Dawson's Creek star, whose fame continued in Batman Begins and Ice Storm, as well as Don't Be Afraid of the Dark and Abandoned. She starred as Jacqueline Kennedy in the 2017 miniseries about famous political family. Coach V?
Ooh, I can't. No, I don't know.
Soon to be Mrs. Jamie Foxx, actress Katie Holmes is 40 years old.
Are they really gonna do that?
They getting married?
I don't know. That was the rumor. I heard it. I don't know. Maybe. Pop star who gained recognition for her first hit, Genie in a Bottle.
Oh, Christina Aguilera.
There you go. She's 38. Ghost, now I know you're going to get this. Born Earl Simmons.
DMX.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't know actors, but I know
48.
a couple of rappers.
He became known for his tough, trash-talking persona. He did battle in the WCW to ECW, became the most profitable wrestler in WWE history. Stone Cold Steve Austin, 54 years old.
He's the most profitable?
That's what it says.
In wrestling, yes. At the time, because he was huge.
Yeah,
well, you would think The Rock, but The Rock, no. And Hulk Hogan, because the money at the time wasn't the same.
Right, exactly.
And The Rock wasn't in it as long as Stone Cold. I think Rock only did a couple of years, but he ascended, but then he went out and got into acting.
Legendary Detroit Tigers outfield known as the Georgia Peach had an astounding 367 lifetime batting average.
If I'm a guy, don't call me no Georgia Peach.
Did you open the sound on this? Open my sound up, please.
Oh, there you
go. He won 12 batting titles, including 9 in a row between 1907 and 1915. Became the first player in Major League history to record over 4,000 hits. Retired with 4191. He was also a Southern Protestant who hated Northerners.
Not a shocker.
Hated Catholics.
Heard he spiked a lot of people when he
hated black people.
No joke.
And apparently anybody who was different from him.
Wait, well, I mean, did that shock you people at that time when they were born in the South?
Ty Cobb was born on this day in 1886.
Yeah.
I mean, slavery had just ended, what? Not too long
didn't really
ago.
end.
Yeah, right, exactly. It legalized anyway. Running back who made his NFL debut.
And I say it again, don't call me a Georgia Peach. I was born in Georgia. I'm not a Georgia Peach.
That does have feminine undertones.
It's weird.
It is weird. Like, oh man, look at the Georgia Peach over there.
Yeah, like, weird.
Yeah. What kind of fruit could a guy
Peaches
be
are
called?
sweet.
What kind of fruit is masculine? Give me a masculine fruit, Ghost.
Nothing.
There's no fruit that's
Apples.
masculine?
No.
Apples.
Because people say
Apples.
apples, you think about butts. Think of apple bottoms. No,
Oh,
Apple in my eye? No, that's female.
there's no fruit. There's nothing.
What about the ugly fruit?
There is no ugly fruit.
Dragon
Yeah, no, it's
fruit.
called-
Dragon fruit.
Right, dragon fruit. There's a fruit called the ugly fruit.
Dragon fruit. I don't. I guess they're ugly, but it's just no.
No, but
Dragon
there's
fruit.
actual fruit
Yeah,
called
no.
the ugly fruit. You know what
I
I'm
know,
saying?
I never heard
It looks
ugly
like
fruit.
no, it looks like a grapefruit, but it's all like shriveled up.
Okay.
I've never eaten it, but I've seen it. I used to work in the produce department, so I know it. It's called the ugly fruit. I don't think there's a masculine fruit.
Dragon
What
fruit.
would you want to be called? Watermelon? Because that means you got a big head. See, no.
Dragon fruit.
All right, running back who made his NFL debut in 2007 for the New Orleans Saints helped them team win a Super Bowl in 2010.
Reggie Bush.
Nope.
Yeah,
Pierre Thomas, 34 years old.
Yeah, because Reggie Bush, he was traded there. He didn't start there.
NFL tight end and Super Bowl champion Ben Watson is 38. Wide receiver Justin Hardy is 27. In the NBA, he was a forward who started an amazing 1,159 games over a 20-year career. He was selected to the NBA All-Star game in 1994. He's Virginia Union University's finest and one of the scariest men I've ever passed on the street. Charles the Oakman Oakley is 55 today. Let me tell you something.
I like Charles Oakley.
Let me tell you something, Ghost. I was walking down New York City street one day, right? And I looked, and I saw Charles Oakley. And, I mean, we were about 8 feet away. I was like, hey, Oakman, what's up? He looked at me. I was like, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bother you, sir. He gave me a look like,
He
"Oh,
don't
who the
look-
hell are you? Like, what are you talking to me
He
for?
don't look like the person that you just walk. He would like you be too open for you to walk up to him and just be randomly talking.
Nah, you don't want to run up on Oakman because you're going to catch a bad one. All right, folks, let's
Just
get
like
started.
Mr. Dolan.
Huh? Yeah, right. You remember that a couple of years ago when they
Yo, anybody who will go after the owner of a team in the stands.
and they had it took like 8 guys to get him out of there.
Oakley is big, man.
He's a big human being, and he took one of the security
Why do you
guards.
think people stop messing with Mike after a certain point?
Yo, when one of the security guards came up to him in that garden incident,
He stopped.
He mushed
Yeah.
that dude like, get out of here! What you gonna do? Like I had enough of you when I used to play here.
I'll leave when I want to leave.
And yo, it took 8 dudes. When dudes started,
And they still didn't grab him.
right? No, when he took off his watch, and his like bracelet and gave it to his friend next to him.
You know, serious.
Oh, he was like, yo, all right, yo, hold my Rolex and hold my bracelet because I'm about to F these dudes
he
up
was-
right now.
Yeah, Oakley's he's one of my favorite
Yeah,
players.
Oakley is real with it. And I heard him
and
say,
I'm gonna speak another one of my favorite players.
who's that?
I saw did you see the video with Marcus Peters at the Rams game?
No, I didn't see it.
He's sitting on the bench.
Right.
During the game.
Right.
Somebody in the stands is hollering at him.
Was that Marcus Peters? I thought that was Leonard Fournette.
No, it's another one.
Oh, it's another one.
Leonard Fournette went after somebody too.
Oh, I didn't see the
And then
Marcus Peters one.
I forgot the guy from I think the Seattle guy. Was he in Seattle? One of the players went up in the stands and was going to grab somebody because he was
I
throwing
didn't
stuff
see
at
the
him when
Marcus
he was
Peters
when he
one.
was leaving the field.
Right.
Well, Marcus Peters was sitting on the sidelines and the fan was yelling something. Peters turned around and was like, "Where you from, homie?" Got up and walked up into the stands.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, I'm dead serious.
Wait, hold up. I got it on TMZ Sports right now. I'm looking at it now.
Game
Oh, he's talking right now. Oh, okay. Marcus Peters walks from the bench. Hold on, I gotta get some sound on it. Oh boy. Yo,
And
listen.
then the guy stopped talking when he was there.
Yo, listen.
The guy was like, "Yo, come up the stands. You gonna get fined." And he was like, "Where you from?" He went on. But see,
Hold on. Let me see if I can hear the sound, yo. Oh wow. Yeah, he is talking for real.
And Marcus is he's a little different.
Yeah, he's a lot different. Yo, but dude was coming at him. I didn't hear what the other dude said, but he kept going at him a little bit.
But see, my thing is this. Well, you know, I'm all for players who run up in the stands. I mean, like Ron Artest, one of my favorite all-time players.
Why does that appeal to you, Ghost?
Because you know what? Fans can be stupid and just don't think because you can say anything you want. You can boo. You can
Right.
do whatever you want.
That's fair.
You can boo a player. But when
That's
if you start throwing stuff at people and start really calling them out of their names or whatever, like the guy Fournette said, the guy called him a racial slur. When
Right.
you start thinking you got the right to say whatever you want to say without any repercussions, nah, man. I'm all for fans to run up there and put the fist in somebody's mouth.
Well, I mean, I'm all for verbal confrontation. I don't know how I am for
Now,
physical
some people got
confrontation.
some points got to be proven physically.
Yeah, but then you subject yourself to all sorts of claims
I
and
don't care.
suspensions from the league and all that other
Sometimes
stuff.
the point got to be proven.
You don't want to get involved in that. You know what I mean? It's just not a good look. All right, folks, let's get ready. Let's do it, Ghost. Before we come up on the 10 o'clock break, just get some football talking here. You know, we got Storm Norm coming in, start to show up, little house music. I love old school house music. All right. Listen, obviously, here's how I feel as a Cowboys fan. Cowboys go into Indianapolis and get shut the hell out, Ghost.
Yeah.
I feel like this. I feel like I don't even want to be identified as a Cowboys fan.
I was telling
right now.
I'm always gonna be identified as a Cowboy fan.
I don't want to be associated with this garbage team right now.
I was telling
Tell me
Sean
something
in chat. I was like, they had a bad game, and I knew it was a bad game when
they started.
when the field goal got blocked. I was like, oh wow, this is gonna be tough. They never had that. They haven't had to happen in a long time. Right up the middle. I was like, And then when the way the defense was playing,
right.
It seemed like the linebackers weren't really. It seemed like the defense really wasn't into it.
I don't know what
it seemed like the energy wasn't there, and the coach just took it to him. And then when the fullback dropped the touchdown pass,
yeah,
I was like, yeah, this game's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly real quick. And it was just out. They didn't tight. They were dropping a lot of passes they normally didn't drop. So, and then what was the guy? Marlon Mack, I think his name is.
139 yards rushing. 2 touchdowns.
I'll put it this way. Marlon Mack, I had him on my fantasy team a couple years ago, 2 years ago. Last year.
How did he do?
Nothing. He always had ability, but never really came through. Never really showed it, and he showed it Sunday. But I didn't think they were going to win anyway because they're going on the road. Coast is hot. I didn't think they were going to get shut out. I thought it was going to be a lot closer.
First shutout since 2003.
Yeah. It just don't happen often.
The only side, silver lining I could find, if you will, is that I think they needed a game like this. I think they needed a game to kind of slap them in their face to say, hey, look, we're on a hot streak. We won 5 in a row. You start believing your press clippings. You start thinking you're better than you really are. And you might start taking some things for granted. So you get a little lazy, you get a little careless, and you stop working hard. So my hope is that they'll learn from this game, that nothing from this loss, a complete shutout first since 2003, that nothing is given to you in the NFL. You got to go out there and you got to work hard for it. Mm-hmm. Every game counts because they had a chance to lock up the division, which they didn't do.
Yeah.
And that's had to be disappointing. Now they got Tampa Bay next week, correct?
Tampa and the Giants.
Tampa and the Giants. Those are 2 games that you should win. If the Cowboys don't win those games, then they don't deserve to make the playoffs, and they don't deserve anything. They deserve what they get. If they wind up an 8-8 team, and that's what they are, an 8-8 team. I make no. I'm not the crazy Cowboys fan that says, "Oh well, this and that." I'm not gonna.
I mean, we said they were pretty much a 9-7 team.
But I will say this, Ghost. I was thinking about what we talked about last week, and what we talked about was Dak Prescott. For me, the problem is Dak Prescott. He is the single problem. He's the leader of the team. He's the face of the team, and he's got to be better.
Well, he's not the leader.
He's got to be better.
Not really the face.
Well, who's the leader then?
Zeke.
Zeke is not.
Everything
the leader,
runs through. Everything.
Yeah,
runs
but he's not
through
the leader.
The offense.
He might be the offense
leader.
might run through
him. He's the leader of that offense. The offense runs through him.
Well, then hold on. When you throw the ball 39 times and Elliott only runs 18 times, you can't tell me the offense runs through Zeke.
You got to talk to the offense coordinator.
Well, but you can't statistically.
Well, you got to talk to the offense coordinator.
I agree. He should run through Zeke.
He's had 40 touches last game, the game before that, and I forget how many he's had in the 5-game winning streak. So the offense runs through him when they win. When they get away from running the ball, they lose.
I agree
that he is the face of the Cowboys. Everybody say stop Zeke, you stop the Cowboys.
Well, he only had 25 touches.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you're going to throw the ball 39 times, to me that tells me that Dak Prescott is leading this offense, and he's leading it poorly.
Leading offense.
He's not. Well, yeah, I agree with you. He's not,
because when they won, he didn't. That's the one game. And other games when they did this,
but here's the thing, Ghost. Here's the thing, and to the point we were making last week, I thought about what we talked about. We talked about. I said Dak had to be more accurate, and you said, well, he's completing 68% of his passes, and I thought about that. I said, wait a minute. Completion percentage is not necessarily accuracy. The two don't go together. I mean, they go together. They're related, but they're not the same thing.
But I'm saying we can't use. My whole argument was we can't use completion percentage for any value for any quarterback. Then,
right?
So we're going to throw it out.
Right. Okay. I'll throw it out. But what I will say is,
I'm not going to never use that for any other quarterback.
I'm not going to throw it out completely because it represents how many passes you complete, which is important. But it doesn't represent how accurately you complete those passes. And see, what I'm saying to you is this. And I was listening to Charles Woodson on the ESPN show. And he said the same thing that I didn't say last week, but I was thinking about. If those passes are more accurate passes, you take a 5-yard gain that a guy's reaching back and only getting 5. If you put it out here where he's in stride,
I said that
it's
last
an 8
week.
yard. But that's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean when I'm talking about accuracy. Dak Prescott has to be more accurate. He can complete the same amount of he can have the same completion percentage, but in my mind, he has to be more accurate.
The whole
this
point I was
team
making last week was we're going to say we got to throw the completion percentage out there.
No, I don't think we do. Not for me.
No, because if we are using that to say that's a good quarterback by completion percentage, then we can't say we can't use that.
Yeah, you certainly can. You don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You can say it represents the amount of passes that complete, but that does not represent how accurately those passes were completed. That's all. That's all I'm saying. And some guys, I watched Tom Brady. I was watching Brady play. Tom Brady is a more accurate passer. Now, I don't know if he's completing more passes, but when I watch the passes that he completes, they're right where the receiver can continue running. Mm-hmm. Now, there's no statistic to measure that. You know what I'm saying? At least not as far as I know.
Yards after catch.
Okay, that might be a good way to look at it. You can see where guys are running, how many yards they get, but there's no, accuracy statistic. I'm sure there may be somewhere.
Because quarterbacks who are more accurate and throw like that, their receivers probably have more yards after the catch.
Probably. I would think so. So what I'm saying to you is this team, in my mind, is only going to go as far as Dak Prescott goes. If Dak Prescott plays well, and the offensive coordinator, you can say, well, the offensive coordinator should do this, should do that. Yeah, they should run the ball more. They should give Zeke more touches, but that's not what they do. If they're going to allow Dak Prescott to throw the ball 39 times or have 39 attempts, we're going to lose ball games because he's not accurate enough to win with 39 attempts. He only completed 24 and 1 interception, no touchdowns, 206 yards passing, QBR rating of 20.4.
How many times did he throw the ball game before that?
Say it again?
How many times did he throw the ball game before that?
I don't know. Let's look.
I believe it was 40. Or 50.
Let's look. I don't know. Let's see. We're going to go to the Eagles game and see the box score. 32. No, that was Dak. 54 times, 42 completions. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Against a bad football Philly team.
Ain't that bad.
They don't even have a winning record, Ghost.
They beat the Rams.
What are you, at 500 team?
They ain't that bad.
I don't think the Eagles are a good team. And
I don't think completing the pass.
But do you think throwing the ball 54 times with Dak Prescott is a winning?
I don't think throwing the 54 times with any quarterback is a winning recipe.
I don't know. I think I
don't know any team that wants their quarterback to throw the ball 54 times. Even Tom Brady or the Steelers or the Saints.
So we agree.
Or Kansas City. Nobody wants their quarterback throwing the ball 54 times.
So we agree that
they don't even want him throwing the ball 30 times. They don't have to.
So we agree that Dak Prescott throwing the ball 54 times is not a recipe for success.
I agree with any quarterback throwing the ball 54 times.
So that includes Dak, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But that's my point.
Not singling it out to one person.
But what we're talking about is the Cowboys. We're talking about Dak Prescott.
We were talking about quarterbacks at that point.
No, I was talking about Dak.
No, because you brought up Tom Brady and accuracy.
Right.
So we brought up other quarterbacks.
That was 2 minutes. Come on, Ghost.
2 minutes is not forever. It's part of the conversation. Am I right or wrong?
No, it wasn't part of the conversation. What I said was, I don't think Dak Prescott having 54 attempts is a recipe for success.
You said 39.
And you said I don't think 39 is a recipe for success. Mm-hmm. I think the Dallas Cowboys have to get Zeke more touches. They should be running the ball more. Now, that could be a function of the offensive line that's basically falling apart. Maybe they don't have confidence in it. But if the offensive line is falling apart, that's not helpful for Dak because he's not going to get good pass protection.
It's not helpful for the running game either.
That's what I mean. It's not helpful for Zeke, and it's not helpful for Dak. I also think Dak Prescott lacks good pocket awareness, and he doesn't step up in the pocket. He doesn't protect the ball well. I think Dak Prescott is the problem. I'm selling all of my Dak Prescott stock today. And he's going to have to show me something in the next 2 games and in the playoffs that he can win a big game. Otherwise, I'm just going to consider him an average quarterback. To me, right now, he's an average quarterback that had a few hot games. He did that when we were 13-3, and he hasn't duplicated that success. I do not have faith in Dak Prescott anymore. I've lost my faith in him.
Okay.
That's it, as a Cowboys fan. Now, speaking of faith, I mean, a month ago, we would have said the Patriots, Rams, Saints, and Chiefs were the best teams in the NFL, right?
Still are.
You think so?
Yep.
Are the Rams in trouble on a 2-game losing streak?
No.
Saints not scoring as much as they used to?
Man, this ain't the
Chiefs?
season. They already wrapped up the playoffs. What do they got to worry about it?
You think the Patriots as good as they once were a month ago?
Yeah.
You think so, really?
What did they lose by 7? 6?
I don't know, man. The score is one indicator of what you lost by.
You're talking about the Patriots? They lost by 7.
Yeah, the Patriots lost by 7.
17-10.
But to me, that's a game that they usually win. That's a game that they go into Pittsburgh confident. I don't think the Patriots are the same team. Obviously, they're not. It was 17-10 Pittsburgh. That's a big win for the Steelers.
Well, I mean, the Steelers had to. I mean, their backs, like everybody been saying, their backs were against the wall. Like they needed to win, or else, it was just going to mess up their chances for being in the playoffs. So, I'm not saying that the Patriots. I would never say that the Patriots overlooked anybody. Like they walked in there and be like, "Oh yeah, we got this." But I just think, the Steelers have more to lose than the Patriots.
So you think they were hungrier?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? To that point, Coach V, you could say that about the Eagles, because the Eagles, if they had lost to the Rams, they would have also basically lost their playoff contention. They would have lost their they would have been out of the playoff hunt. So they were a hungry team. Who did the Chiefs play? I think the Chiefs played
Chargers.
Chiefs played the Chargers. Yeah. That's a divisional rival game. Mm-hmm. That was a good game. I thought. I'm shocked at the Chargers. To me, the Chargers have a reputation of usually falling apart. Mm-hmm. And
Chargers' reputation is that they played terrible in the beginning of the year, and then they come on late. And then it's too little, too late.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say.
So they've been playing great all season. So they don't fall off. They get better as the season goes on, but they normally start like 0-4.
Yeah, but it always seems to me like Phil Rivers throws that late interception, or somebody on that team fumbles late, makes a big mistake right when they're just about to get back in it, and they never seem to get over the hump with Phil Rivers. I hope it's different for them this year. Mm-hmm. I like the Chargers. I've always liked the Chargers.
They actually got defense this year.
They have a good defense at 11-3. They're charged with the Chiefs, tied with the Chiefs.
They don't have to go up there and put up like 60 points to win a game no more. Philip Rivers was is this year's version. This era's Dan Marino. He had to put up a whole bunch of points with a whole good offense, but no defense. Now he got a defense.
I'm trying to think if I agree with that. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm trying to remember Dan Marino. I mean, we're going back 20 plus years.
They put up points.
So right now, the playoff seedings are Kansas City, Chargers, Houston, Patriots, Steelers, Ravens. As it stands today, that's the AFC.
Kansas City what?
Kansas City, Chargers, Texans, Patriots.
No.
Steelers, Ravens.
The order?
Yeah.
Kansas is 1, Houston's 2.
Wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong
3,
thing.
Patriots
I'm sorry.
4,
I'm looking at the wrong. Kansas
Chargers
City, Texans, Patriots. I was looking at the wrong setup. I was looking at the conference standings, not the playoff standings. So it's Chiefs, Texans, Patriots, Steelers, Chargers, Ravens. All right. So now, but the the Chargers are still in the hunt. They could win that division, get a first-round bye. Mm-hmm. Who the Chargers got coming up, Ghost?
Who did they play? Was it the Ravens and then the Broncos?
Ravens and the Broncos. Those are 2 winnable games. Who the Chiefs got coming up?
Chiefs have Ravens are going to be tough for the Chiefs. But Chargers. Ravens got #1 defense in football. Oh, Chiefs got Seahawks and the Raiders.
Raiders will be done by the end of the year.
Raiders couldn't beat them on a good day.
Seattle, and it's in Seattle.
Seattle can't score enough.
That might be a tough game. I don't know. It's at home for Seattle.
They're used to loud stadiums because KC's loud. I just don't think Seattle's going to be able to score enough.
Okay. Seattle lost this weekend in a surprise to me. I didn't think to the Niners.
You know why? Because the week before, the Clark talking about Richard Sherman talking about that era is gone. This is my team,
yeah.
And look what happened. We played them last time and lost. I was like, you start talking. And then the 49ers shouldn't have beat them.
23-26 in overtime.
And it's always close. I don't care what the records of the 49ers is, because they always play a tough defense. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of shocked. I know Richard Sherman left out there with a smile.
Of course he did. Beating his old team. Now, we talked about the Rams. Philadelphia goes out to L.A. and beats the Rams 30-23.
People underestimate the loss of Cooper Kupp, man. He changed that whole offense around.
Is Todd Gurley healthy? 12 yards, 48 carries, 2 touchdowns though, but only 48 yards
they say
rushing.
he's day to day.
I'm sorry?
They say he's day to day.
Yeah. Would you sit him for the next 2 games?
But what you got to lose?
I think I agree with that. I would sit Todd Gurley down, get him healthy for the playoffs. Jared Goff, 53 attempts, 339 yards, 1 interception. Goff not looking great over the last 2 games. I heard a stat saying he had 6 picks over the last 2 games, Ghost. Is that accurate?
He had like 3 or 4 against the Bears.
4 against the Bears. That would mean, well, actually, I'm looking at it now. Wouldn't that be 5 against the Bears? How many? Let me just double check that. Because I'm looking at it against the Bears.
He had 1 against the Eagles. I don't know how many against the Bears.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You can't tell. Did he throw 5 interceptions against the Bears?
No, I don't think he threw 5.
No, so he got 4 interceptions over the last 2 games.
Yeah.
I heard that wrong. No, he threw 4, so he's got 5. I'm sorry. He's got 5 over the last 2 games. Is Jared Goff the same quarterback without Todd Gurley? Keep in mind that last game against the Bears, Todd Gurley only had 28 yards rushing on 11 attempts.
Yeah,
so
sometimes people outthink themselves. They try to get away from what gets them good.
2 games, Todd Gurley had, 70 yards rushing, and Jared Goff, 44 attempts. To your point, 44 attempts, they lose. 53 attempts in this week's game, they lose. Todd Gurley not touching the ball, they lose. Should Rams fans be concerned about losing 2 in a row?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. Not this time.
Did they peak too early, Coach V? Have they shown their best hand? They played their best football early. Now it's getting early, late, as they say.
No, what I think has happened is what has happened with the Chiefs and to a lesser degree maybe the Saints. You know how in the beginning of the season everybody was like, "Oh, this is the new normal. All these points, 45-44, and all this stuff." You know, with the rules, blah, blah, blah. But what has happened is that, as the season goes on, the tape on offenses and gets a little longer. The defensive coordinators have more opportunity to scheme and plan for these different offenses, and therefore towards the end of the season, what happens is, you see, what we thought was like, oh my God, this is the new bright new shiny thing, and this is the wave of the future. Oh my God,
right.
Genius! It comes back to those basic fundamentals of football of like, defense does matter because there's a familiarity with these people and these offenses, so they can't do what they did in the beginning.
Well, I think to your point, when we talk about, everybody was high on the Chiefs. They scored 51. Rams scored 54. Like you said, Rams scored 6 points against the Bears. They scored, what they score this week?
23.
23. So they were averaging, ridiculous numbers. The Chiefs, I think, were averaging
like 30 points
37.
Yeah, over
and in the last 2 games,
all 3 of them, the Saints, the Chiefs, and the Rams.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
I think because they all wrapped up playoff positions, and the hunger's not there right now.
So you think
close to and get? I think it's just we just want to get this over with, get to the playoffs. I don't think the hunger's there, and I think teams showed how you can slow them down a little bit, and I think it's like a culmination of a bunch of things. Defenses know how to slow them down.
Yeah.
The loss of Cooper Kupp with the Rams is finally catching up to them because now you have that guy off safety net who moved the chains a lot, who drew some attention to the middle of the field, which opened it up for Cooks, which opened it up for Woods, which opened it up for Gurley out of the backfield. You took that safety net out. You ran into a hot Bears defense on a cold night when the team probably didn't feel like being out there. The Saints ran into the Cowboys and got washed for a little bit, and now it's just what did they play against the Panthers?
So you think it's
which is a division game. I think it's just the end of a long season. They wrapped up the division, and teams have figured out how to slow them down in certain ways. It's like I think it's a perfect storm of everything. It's like a marriage of all the reasons on how you're slowing them down.
Okay, that's fair. Because I don't know.
And the Rams' defense has not been good all year. They signed a lot of people, but they can't stop the run.
What they paying Donald all that money for?
Well, Donald still stops people, but he can't do everything. Donald's still the best defensive player in football, but they have a problem stopping the run because their linebacker play has not been great all year. Talib just came back. His second game back from being out for like 5 or 6 games with that. So it's just a combination of things.
I'm just wondering
if the Chiefs just don't stop anybody on defense.
my question is,
and you fall in love with, you know what? No matter what we do, our offense is just gonna go score. But they're gonna put a point, and it can't happen because you're going up against teams that got good offenses.
To that point, do you think it's overconfidence? Do you think that it's okay to say, well,
no,
we have a pat, we're good. We're going to make the playoffs at 11-3 if you're the Chiefs. Is it too early? Should they keep their foot on the gas pedal to keep it moving? I mean, what are the? So you think it's just human nature? Like we got it locked
and
up? You think it's play calling?
I think it's just a couple of games you run up against some hot teams.
So
and
nothing to be concerned about.
Basically, to me, football is on any given Sunday. Would it shock you? Any team beat any team?
Yeah, because it seems so dramatic that teams like the Saints, the Chiefs, the Rams,
the Saints ran up against the Cowboys defense, who was playing great at the time. They ran up against the Panthers defense, who've always played great, and they're not the Saints are not really that great of a road team outside anyway. The Chiefs ran up against the Chargers, which is a division game, so you never know how those are going to go, and their defense is a lot better. The Rams also played against the Bears, whose defense is top 2 in the league. I think it just ran into it was just like a perfect storm.
I don't know, man. I don't know that I buy that. I don't know that I agree with that. I'm not going to say you're wrong, but I think it's a different perspective that I hadn't thought of. It could be a perfect storm, but it could be those teams are running out of steam. They showed their best football, and like Coach V said, teams have gotten smart. They're watching more tape, and they say, hey, look, you know what? We can figure out how to stop these teams. Now, you come up against defenses. Maybe it is just a perfect storm of defenses, but you come up against those teams that have watched tape over the last 13 weeks, and now all of a sudden you can get it.
See,
good.
You watch tape all year.
Yeah, but it's different in the beginning of the year.
But they're not doing nothing no different.
You don't think so?
They ain't changing the playbook. They've been doing the same offense, the same plays. People been watching tape on them for 2 years now. Ain't nothing changed in the Rams offense except Cooper Kupp ain't there.
So Cooper Kupp makes that big of a difference that they can't score.
That's the difference.
They go from a scoring average of what? What were the Rams averaging
35
per game? 35, and Cooper Kupp goes down.
And then what do you have after that? They didn't go completely belly up.
But that's what I'm saying.
They went belly up against the Bears, who's the number 1 defense, number 2 defense.
I don't know, Ghost. I find it hard to believe the Cooper Kupp.
So they just went from being that great to being trash.
I think, sometimes teams, I thought, let me use the Cowboys as an example. I thought the Cowboys were on the upswing. They kind of tripped last week, got shut out. I'm hoping that'll kind of rejigger their.
Cowboys are the same team they've been since the beginning of the year.
Well, that
they're not blowing nobody out. They're winning by a couple of good plays here or there, and the game's always been close.
Well, like I said, I thought that's
the teams they were from the beginning. They lose games by 1 touchdown. They win games by 1 touchdown. It's like one possession, the Cowboys could have been a better record, or one possession, the Cowboys could be worse. This is the Cowboys.
True. But like I said, I thought that on a 5-game winning streak, they were starting to show some promise. They were starting to show some direction. It seemed like they had gotten things a little bit right. But again, like you said, no, they haven't in my mind now. I've lost a little bit of faith in them, and they've gotten it back. So the question for me becomes, which team are the Cowboys? Are they the team, like you said, the same team in the beginning?
The same team they are. The Cowboys cannot get behind the chains. They can't get behind. In this game, they got behind the chains. They had a bunch of penalties that call plays back. They're not built for that.
Rams were averaging,
the same, and in the 5-game winning streak, they didn't have those issues.
Rams were averaging 32 points a game. And you're telling me because Cooper Kupp's gone?
No, it went belly up one game. What did they have for most of them games?
Let's see. Hold on.
They still put up points.
6, 23, 16 against the Lions. No, they had 30 against the Lions in a win. So, I mean, I guess.
You had 2 games, and they still put up 23 last game.
Yeah, it ain't 32.
They had 1 game where they put up bad numbers. I'm not basing it off a game that was negative degrees in Chicago. Well, that's a number 2 defense and say that now the offense is in trouble.
Here's the one thing we can say about the Rams. They got the Cardinals and the Niners coming up next. They'll be all right. They're going to probably go 13-3. They're definitely going to beat the Cardinals. They'll probably beat the Niners. You don't think they'll beat the Niners?
Gurley playing? If Gurley ain't playing, then I don't know. I'm not putting nothing. I'm not guaranteeing no victory if Ty Gurley in that backfield.
All right, folks, keep it locked. We're gonna come back right after a quick break. Talk some more football. We might have some NBA callers calling in.
Yay.
I'm not exactly sure. We'll talk a little NBA, but I'll keep it locked. WBKS1.com. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back, WBKS1.com, Tuesday night in the game. To my right, she is.
Coach B.
To my left, he is.
Short fuse, like it goes.
And I am O-Dog, the host, the captain, holding it down. Shout out to Chill, Mr. Keep It Real. Ghost, you know, we played some Christmas music. Let me ask you, I'll start with you. Are you a Christmas guy?
No.
Well
I don't like Christmas music.
You don't like Christmas
I
music?
don't play Christmas music.
Do you like Christmas? Do you have holiday spirit, or are you the Grinch?
I ain't the Grinch, but oh, now Christmas don't mean nothing. Santa ain't real.
I ain't say Santa. I'm just saying the spirit, the holiday spirit. Coach V, do you have holiday spirit? Are you a Christmas person? Would you say?
Well, first of all, growing up, I never celebrated Christmas,
Okay.
but I do have spirit.
Okay.
I like to listen to, I like to look at the decorations.
Okay. Well, that's what I mean.
And stuff like that. I love to listen to, my favorite Christmas song is All I Want for Christmas by Mariah Carey.
Okay. I like that song. It's a good song.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can get into the spirit, even though I don't celebrate it.
You know, I was
Michael Jordan's worth $1.7 billion.
He what now?
$1.7 billion.
Jordan. I don't give a damn about him. I wasn't always a Christmas guy.
But now you got
I went through a phase where I was the Grinch. Goes. I was like, screw you, man. I don't care about no damn Christmas. Oh yeah,
Cigarettes.
I'm a mean. I was mean. I was like, don't buy me no presents. I ain't buying you nothing. I still don't get down with the whole present thing because I feel like, look, what am I gonna get you? I don't have time to shop. You know, I'll just go get you a gift card. You know what I mean? And you can get whatever you want.
Best thing ever.
That's not really the spirit of Christmas. You know what I mean? It doesn't really show a lot of thought.
That's perfect.
But it is what it is. So I'm not doing any shopping. If you get, you probably get from me. You know what I mean?
That's even better.
I'll give you some cash and you can go get what you want. But now that I have children, it's sort of changed my perspective. I'm big on Christmas lights, man. I'm a dork. Go, she saw my car. My car, I got the antlers. No, I'm good. You see the sweater? Yeah, right. I got the antlers. I got the nose on the front. I was about to say, will you offer me your cookie? I got the tail coming out the back. I like my Christmas lights. I'm turning into Clark Griswold. And I hope my kid, I'm probably going to embarrass my children as they get older, but my sons are both young. Shout out Jackson and Hudson.
Cute, Jackson and Hudson.
Yeah, those are my boys. So shout out to them. I love my boys, and I'm looking forward to a lot of good Christmas memories with the family. All right, let's get back into it. Now, we're just going to run through it real quick. What was the most surprising game to you this week, Ghost?
None.
None of them?
Nothing surprised me this week.
I was surprised that, you know what the game that really surprised me the most? Was that Chiefs Chargers game on Thursday night.
Really?
You know what? Not the game itself, but the fact that Anthony Lynn sent his team out there. Well, first of all, let me just say this.
What you got to lose?
The game?
I mean,
The division? First round bye? You got a whole lot to lose.
Scared?
Huh?
Because you tie the game up, Casey gets the ball, you think you can stop him?
I don't know.
I'm not taking that chance.
You just said the Chargers have a good defense.
I'm not taking that chance. You can still have a good defense, and Casey still can. Tyreek Hill runs 100,000 miles an hour.
Listen,
He'll take a bubble screen and go 95 yards, but you don't even touch him. I wasn't shocked he went for, because you got to go to win the game. Why give him that chance?
well, in the post-game interview, they asked him, why did he go for it? And he said, because we came to win. So that's your answer right there. I was a little bit stunned. That doesn't seem like the way. I mean, you see a lot of coaches now going for it on 4th and short. You see a lot of a lot more than, I should say, more than in the past. At least it seems from what I see that coaches are going for it more on 4th down. They're going for 2 more often. I thought it was a gutsy call. Phil Rivers connects with the wide receiver who was wide open. So that was surprising to me. Going into KC, Arrowhead Stadium, like you said, is one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL. That's a big, big win. So that was a bit shocking. Cleveland, technically not out of the playoff hunt, goes. Technically.
Go Cleveland.
They need a whole lot of help.
They need a whole lot of help, but they're still in the mix.
The dog pound is back.
I was shocked at the Cowboys didn't score. So not only did that tick me off, but it was a bit stunning. Coach V, what was the most surprising game to you, if there was one?
Well, I think I didn't expect the Eagles to win.
That's another surprise. I didn't expect the Eagles to win either on the road, going into L.A. And beating a good Rams team. But like Go said, without Cooper Kupp, it seems like.
And then you're not running the ball. They get away from what you are, because these offensive coordinators try to get too fancy.
Buffalo takes down Detroit. Minnesota destroys Miami. Cincinnati beats up on Oakland 30-16. Nothing really to see there. Washington over Jacksonville. What is going on with Jacksonville, Go? So they're just
Playing for a high
packed it
draft pick. They're playing for a high draft pick.
Is that what they're playing for?
What else they got to play for?
Tennessee goes into Giants Stadium, beats up on the Giants. The Pittsburgh-New England game we talked about. What are your thoughts on last night's game, Carolina against the Saints? Saints put up 12 points and win.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that, Goes?
None. Division game.
Yeah.
Carolina's been they're on a tailspin. They always play pretty good defense, and it was a close game. I actually thought the Panthers were gonna pull it out. I would have been shocked.
Cam Newton, after the game, was talking about his shoulder. Basically
His
saying,
shoulders hurt longer, I think, more than what people leading on to.
Yeah, I think that's what he was saying. He's like, I'm in a lot of pain. I'm not making excuses, but these are the facts. I'm going to continue to play. Would you sit Cam Newton if you were Ron Rivera?
Who's your backup?
Derek Anderson.
No.
You're on a 6-game losing streak, Ghost.
Cam,
Does
you
it
go out there
matter?
until your arm fall off. Yeah, I'm not playing Derek Anderson.
You're 6-8.
Yeah, play to you.
Are you thinking about Coach V as an organization?
Do they got a chance to make the playoffs?
You're the organizational person, Coach V. As an organization, would you tell, if you're in the front office, would you say, listen, Ron, sit Cam now, or would you say let him play, we still have a chance at the playoffs?
I mean, I understand what Ghost is saying because, got a chance to make the playoffs, but make the playoffs, then what? Like, he's already hurt, so say we limp in there. And then the chance of winning the playoff game, depending on who we play, you got to look at the odds of that as opposed to the odds or the percentages of what could happen in terms of him further damaging. I'm always of the mind that I always like to play the long game. I look at what our future is, what we have invested in terms of money in this person, and see risk reward. Is there more? Am I exposing myself to a whole lot of risk, or am I exposing myself to a whole lot of reward? And if the risk outweighs the reward, then I wouldn't do that. So I guess you could say in a way I'm a risk adverse, but again, I'm always looking at what's further on down the line because I can either keep him for 2 more weeks and possibly squeeze 1 or 2 games out of him, but the damage is going to keep accumulating, if you will.
All right, Sean in chat, Mr. Baseball in chat said he hates Christmas. Well, he didn't even call it Christmas. He calls it Xmas. Xmas is for kids. To hell with that. Xmas sucks. Underwear and drawers. That's all I need. Nah, T-shirts and drawers. Listen, man, I ain't asking for your damn Christmas list, Mr. Baseball.
He said he was shocked about the 49ers beating the Seahawks.
I ain't asking for his damn Christmas list. We're not getting you no gifts. Don't worry about it, bro.
It's funny. It's funny he should say that because my dad, when he was growing up, he said, for Christmas, all he used to get was socks, and he didn't like that.
I listened to a story once. Guy said, when he was a kid, he prayed and prayed and prayed. He wanted a basketball ghost. He wanted an NBA official basketball. Asked his mother, wrote a letter to Santa, all this stuff as a kid. Woke up Christmas morning. He got a hat, a winter gloves, and some scarf. And a scarf.
Gave him what he needed.
Can you let me finish my damn story?
All right, my bad. Go ahead. Sorry.
He said that winter, one of the coldest winters on record. And he said, the moral of the story is sometimes you get what you want. Sometimes you get what you need. And he got what he needed.
Yep.
So you never know. I don't care what you need. I'm not buying you no damn T-shirt and drawers. Get your girl or get somebody to buy it for you, Mr. Baseball. All right, let's shift gears a little bit. Coach V, I know you want to talk about that NBA, and I want to talk about it as well. Ghost, I don't know if you saw the clip last night. The clip everybody is talking about is James Harden. James Harden.
4 steps?
No. He took 5.
They don't call traveling in the NBA. I don't care.
That's no excuse for that.
5 steps.
That was egregious.
They don't call traveling.
That was egregious.
So wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute.
Does it shock you they didn't call traveling?
You know what? It shocks me that they didn't call traveling on that play.
Doesn't shock me.
I get that the NBA goes 3, 3.5, sometimes 4. James Harden literally was doing the cha-cha out there.
You
start stretching a little further.
Coach V, give me your thoughts on James Harden's step back cha-cha for a 3.
It was like, like I said, I have to agree again with Ghost. I get it. They don't call travel in the NBA. I'm okay, fine. I get that. But I was like, dude, he did a little. I mean, not the.
He did the cha-cha.
The cha-cha, then the side. I mean, I'm like, dude, seriously. And what bothers me the most is because young people, the young kids, they look at it. Girls or guys, doesn't matter. They look at this stuff on YouTube. They look at this on YouTube. They want to emulate what their heroes or what these pros do, and I'm like, they're gonna think it's okay to do that. And as a coach at a younger level, it's like, no, we try to teach them the fundamentals, the right way to play. Like, traveling is a violation, but yet it goes.
They all trying to shoot like Steph Curry.
Ghost, did you see the play? Ghost, did you see the play?
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw it? We're watching the play right now.
Oh my God, it's horrible.
And at what point? All right, let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you this, Ghost, since you said they don't call traveling in the NBA. At what point does it stop?
Never.
Oh God, that's just.
So then
it works and works.
So what's the next thing? Harden's going to take 7 steps. They're not going to call it 8 steps.
You push the limit until they call it.
9 steps. When is the NBA going to step up and say,
When somebody runs from half court without dribbling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
runs to where?
The brim.
Then maybe they'll call it.
One time, Russell Westbrook had the ball in his hand, just walked and did like 10 steps before they even blew the whistle.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was in Golden State. He
Wait,
was
how
talking
many?
to somebody, motion, walked, took 10 steps, and then they finally blew the whistle. When Golden State people start pointing at him.
All right, let me ask you this. Why do you think the NBA does not call traveling?
I don't think they are looking at people's feet.
So you think it's just poor officiating?
Yep, I think they don't care.
It's just bad.
You think they don't care about traveling? I saw somebody, I don't know, I'm trying to think if it was the NBA. You know, they called what we used to call in street basketball a discontinuation. You remember a disc?
Oh yeah.
Can you explain a disc for the people, Ghost? You know what a disc is?
Mm-mm.
You know what a disc? Can you explain it, Coach V?
I mean, it's the opposite of the continuation, obviously.
It means like you're dribbling and you put your hand on the ball and then you continue to dribble. So you discontinue your
That's
dribble.
double dribbling.
Double dribble.
Well, we call it double dribble like you do like 2 hands.
No, that's double dribble.
Okay.
Discontinuation is double dribble.
Well, we just had a different name for it then. We call it a disc. If you pick up your dribble and then you dribble again, we call it a disc in my hood. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's definitely not the opposite of a continuation, because the continuation means while you're in the process of a basketball move,
Right.
and then you get fouled on the way, but you continue on and make the shot.
Right.
There's
That's
no
right. That's
continuation.
see that we called that's just and one or whatever you want to call it, a continuation. All right. So, Coach V, talk to me about what's going on in the NBA. What's the most surprising thing to you about the current standings of the NBA? You got the Raptors in
Yes.
first place.
Okay, so it was
The Bucks, hold on. Bucks in second, Pacers in third, Sixers in fourth. Celtics, Detroit, Hornets, and Magic take up the rear. In the Western Conference, you got the Denver Nuggets leading the Golden State Warriors, Oklahoma City Thunder at 19-10, Lakers 18-13, who took a tough loss against the Nets tonight. Trailblazers, Clippers, and Mavericks, and the Grizzlies pulling up the rear. Tell me the most surprising thing about the NBA.
The most surprising thing is that, I mean, the Golden State Warriors are still pretty much where they where everybody thought they was going to be, but it's how they have gotten there, like what they have looked like over so far this year, which is like I don't think anybody was predicting. But then also like you got Sacramento, who's doing well. Like right now, if the playoffs were to start, they would be in the playoffs.
I think they're 1 game out, so maybe yesterday, but they're kind of tied for the 8th spot.
Yeah, they're kind of tied.
Right. That is a shocker.
Yeah, that is a shocker.
But more shocking to me is the Houston Rockets at 1 game over 500.
Well, the Houston Rockets definitely.
The Pelicans.
I was about to say you asked me. The Pelicans.
You right.
The Pelicans. How bad Utah has fell off. I mean, the East. I'm pretty. I was expecting what I see in the East, but the West.
Wait a minute. I got to jump in here.
Go ahead.
You were expecting the Milwaukee Bucks to be in second, behind only the Toronto Raptors. Come on,
well, not
Coach V.
necessarily
I'm
second.
gonna call you on that.
Not
You were
necessar-
expecting that.
Not necessarily second, but I was expecting them to do well, like to be in the top 5. That's what I expected them to be. But it's the West that's just been really because it's like every day there's a loss, and these crazy losses, like the 56-point loss that the Bulls had, and then how bad I knew things was gonna be bad, but one day they lose by like 40, and then the next day they beat up on somebody who they should not have beat up on, and I'm just like, it's just very topsy-turvy in the West as far as I'm concerned.
Ghost, talk to me. What is the most surprising thing to you about the NBA season thus far?
Nothing.
Nothing
shocks me because it means before Christmas.
That's what I was about to say. For me,
The Warriors don't care. They're just when we get to the playoffs and then run.
Mhm.
Don't matter. The East, Toronto was in first last year for the longest, so they got a good team when they put Kawhi on it. The Bucks, they got a good team. Other than that, no. Shocks me.
I heard that Vegas has the Vegas line on the MVP race is the leading odds maker 2-1 is Giannis Antetokounmpo.
No.
You don't think he's going to get MVP?
If the Bucks finish high in the conference, I bet you he will.
I don't think he. No, he shouldn't get it.
Who's
Wait a
going to get it?
Who's going to get it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because they're going to find somebody different than Curry to give it. They're going to find somebody different than LeBron.
Second place was Anthony Davis at 7-2.
But yeah, if they're going to go by if Milwaukee finishes high in the conference, the Greek Freak is going to get it.
What about James Harden? James Harden leading the league in scoring.
That's nothing special. He's not doing nothing special because he's done it for 3 years in a row now. So it's not going to stand out.
Antetokounmpo is not. What is he averaging? I'm looking for his points per game. 26 points a game. Harden's averaging 31. How can you not give?
How many rebounds? Because it's nothing special. It's like when Derrick Rose won it over LeBron. They're going to looking for somebody else.
You got James Harden, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Damian Lillard, and Giannis in terms of scoring. Let me see.
He's averaging 26 points per game.
Right.
13 rebounds per game and 6 assists.
How bad is Chris Paul right now?
How mad or how bad?
Bad.
Well, Harden's averaging 31, 8, and 5, Ghost. His player efficiency rating is 28.01.
He's averaging 5 what?
5 assists.
So you mean tell me?
No, hold on. Let me go back.
It better be 5 assists. But it's like, ain't no way in the world of 4 is averaging
8
more
assists and 5 rebounds.
He's averaging 26, 13, and 6.
6 rebounds?
Yeah.
I mean, 6 assists. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a Giannis fan.
And he's only playing 29 minutes a game.
How many is Harden playing? 34? Last 10 games? 35 minutes a game?
The whole season.
Whole season, he is averaging probably somewhere around 36, I would imagine. Yeah, 36 minutes a game. Let's see what LeBron is doing. We're talking about LeBron off air. Goes, Lakers take a tough loss to the New Jersey. I'm sorry, I was about to say the New Jersey Nets. The Brooklyn Nets, 115-110. LeBron is averaging 34 minutes a game over the last
7-7.
Yeah, they had him in the 4th position,
but it's not even because it's not nothing special. That's his career numbers.
So you have to be special
when you get to that certain level. Yes, you have to do something that's going to make you stand out. Them numbers don't stand out for LeBron, right?
27, 7, and 7. They're not.
That's his career numbers. It's not. It's not standing out. But what the Greek Freak is doing and Milwaukee's winning is standing out.
So he's getting better, is what you're saying, Giannis.
Even if he's not, it's standing out different than what it is looking at, like, say, what Harden's doing.
How is it standing out over James Harden 31 points a game?
Because he's done it for like 4 years in a row now.
Who, Harden?
Yeah. And Houston's not doing well. Milwaukee's doing better than what they normally do. And what Giannis is doing is standing out to people's eyes more than what everybody else is doing.
So this is just a popularity contest?
Isn't that what all votes are?
MVPs, you mean?
Isn't that it?
Is the MVP in football, what's the most valuable MVP? Is it baseball, basketball, or football?
Depends on what sport.
Well, I'm asking you in terms just relative across sports. Do you think, because I don't really, if I had to look at it, I'm going to say the MVP in baseball is more about performance than the MVP in basketball.
Well, no.
No?
Usually MVP in basketball might come from teams that don't have that. Hasn't won,
but like you said,
most of the times MVP in baseball comes from a winning team, which don't mean that it's the most valuable person.
But hold on, you said
it's not value; it's not put on performance.
You said that it doesn't stand out. Performances don't stand out because that's what he's always done
for certain players,
right? For certain players, but that's what I'm saying. So when a player comes with a standout performance, doesn't necessarily mean he's the MVP. It just means he had a standout performance. Am I misinterpreting what you're saying?
He's doing something different for the whole year and is making it stand out more because his team is winning and it's something that he's not normally. He's better than what he did before. If LeBron goes out there and puts up 27, 7, and 7, it's not standing out like, ooh, he had a great season.
So what would LeBron have to do to win the MVP, Coach V?
Woo, he gonna have to. He gonna have to. I know because the MVP don't they award that after
before the playoffs, after the regular season. It's a regular season award, not a playoff award.
If he gets them to the 1 seed. Then he'll get it in the West.
Even with these numbers, Ghost, what would LeBron have to do to win the MVP?
I think he's going to have to bump it up over 30 points. He has to do something that's different.
This is not nothing that stands
But see,
out. This is what's expected of LeBron. So it's not like it's MVP.
That's my
expect him
point.
to do this.
That's my point. Even if he were to go out and average 32 points a game, 8 assists,
That'll be bigger than what his career numbers. And yes,
all right, so let's say if he averaged 31,
still
8,
more than his career average,
and 8,
still more than his career average,
and you
yes.
think that would get him the MVP?
Yeah, more than his career average. It's something different he hasn't done.
So he has to average more than his career average, is what I'm
so
hearing
it'll
you saying.
stand out. Yes. Otherwise, if it's around his career average, it's like it's not standing out. Is what he's doing right now standing out any different than what he did with Cleveland and what he did with Miami? Is it standing out any different?
In terms of his overall value to the team, yes. That
No, it's
team,
not.
Well, hold on. The Lakers went from a team that wasn't in the hunt for the last, what, how many years? To now they're in, what, the 4 seed?
It's December, and they only played 3 games out of not being in the playoffs. Like, so no, it's not that he ain't make a big.
But he's changed that team. Would you agree?
It's not that much of a huge difference.
Oh, come on, Ghost. You don't think he's made a difference with the
He's
Lakers?
made a difference, but it's not like it's huge. There's still a couple of games out of not being in playoff contention, and we're talking about December. Like,
you're a tough nut, man. All right, now, Ghost, we talked about it is December, and
there
for me,
one game out of being out of being out of the playoffs. Made a huge difference.
That's what I got to say about your one game as a Laker fan, Ghost. Listen, hold on. I'm like, wait, what am I
Where's
looking at?
Steph Curry at in the voting?
He was 5th.
Why?
7-1, I think. I don't know. I don't make
because
the
you know why?
odds. Why?
Because what he's doing is not different than what he's been doing. So it's not looking as great as it was when he first did it. Because people become accustomed to that greatness.
So then what you're saying to me is that in order to win the MVP,
when you have multiple
NBA,
ones like those two and certain players, you get to a certain level, you really have to go above and beyond to make it stand
do something.
out.
Okay, that's all I'm trying
because
to determine.
if somebody else jumps up from say 22 points to 27 points,
okay,
it looks like wow, he had a great year.
Okay.
But the other ones could just be doing that.
All right, but wait a minute.
Average.
So if somebody jumps up from 22 points to 27 points, but somebody goes from 20, who's averaged 30 points a game, or let's not use 30.
I'm talking about LeBron and Curry. It's not going to stand out as much as the other person.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
People expect the greatness from them, so it's the eye test. It's not going to stand out as much.
But that's what I mean. So they could be continually great, but somebody else could come along
and be great,
and because they've improved, but still not be on the level of the greatness that LeBron and Curry have been. But that improvement stands out, so they may have. You think they'll have a better shot at the MVP?
Yeah, because look at before. You could have gave LeBron MVP for what, 7 years in a row,
and I think he was.
But the people didn't give it to him because what? It didn't stand out much anymore. It's expected of him.
I just have a hard time. Bugging Ghost.
If they expected of him, then why didn't they give it to him for 8 years in a row?
But and see, that's the problem with the NBA is because they always say, "Well, somebody else's turn. Somebody else's turn. Somebody else going to win the MVP because LeBron can win it every year, but they're not going to give it to LeBron every year. Jordan could have won it every year, but they're not going to give it to him every year.
I never believed in that.
I never believed in that either. Now, since we're talking MVP talk,
they vote for them. They, oh wow, look at the grade he had. Okay, yeah, Jordan had that. That's the same stat he did every year.
See, that's what I mean.
Not special no more.
That's not fair. If you're constantly great,
it's fair.
If you're constantly great, you get penalized because I'm always great.
I'm not saying it's fair. I'm just saying.
But if you're not great and all of a sudden you get better.
When people sit down and vote, that difference stands out more.
All right, now I understand it better. Now, speaking of greatness and speaking of MVPs, let's talk MVP in football. Who do you have for MVP in football, Ghost? Drew Brees, Pat Mahomes. Who else? Aaron, would you include Aaron Rodgers?
Phillip Rivers.
Phil Rivers, your MVP?
He's doing more with less.
Coach V, do you
name two players on that offense?
Keenan Allen, Antonio Gates.
Melvin Gordon, like 39 years old, so he's not even a factor.
You said name two.
Yeah, but he's not a factor. You got Melvin Gordon, you got Keenan Allen, and that's big star names. When you go to Kansas City, you got Tyreek Hill, you got Kelsey, you had
Kareem Hunt.
What's the other wide receiver they had? Oh man,
see, you
had Kareem Hunt. Oh, what was his name? Watkins. They have Watkins over. They have Watkins over there now. They have more offensive talent.
Sammy Watkins, has he played? Because he's been hurt.
But he played for early in the year.
Hold on. Let's talk about We talking about NFL MVP. Patrick Mahomes. No?
He's up there with touchdown passes.
45 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
His quarterback rating is 114.8.
Mm-hmm.
You got Phil Rivers. He's got 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. 112.4. Drew Brees, 31 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Andrew Luck, 34 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Russell Wilson,
Hey now.
31 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Coach V, out of those 5 quarterbacks, who's your MVP?
Drew Brees.
And why?
Because I look at I know football, he's just really in charge of the offense. Like his thing is like, okay, he has to be better than the other team's defense, obviously. And but I just think that, as he's gotten old, I just think that this year he's older and he has just found a way to, continue to play at a high level, even though they have changed their playbook a lot. Like he's not required to throw as much, but as the quarterback out there, he still has to orchestrate everything and just getting people in the right place, throwing them open at times and making sure that and his passes are so accurate. I think he has the highest accuracy in the league this year. I just
highest
think
completion percentage, 74.9.
Right. So I just think that makes him, valuable because, like I tell in my gym class, I was like, look here, a short pass is better than a long pass, especially if that short pass isn't dropped.
All right, who would be your second position? Because there's a lot of candidates. If it wasn't Drew Brees, who else would you give it to?
I would have to go to Phillip Rivers.
Wow. Okay, Ghost, you went Phil Rivers, right? First. Who would you go in your second position?
Mahomes.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go.
Just because Mahomes is his first year starting. 45 touchdowns. You can't take a stick at. He's got a 114 rating, which is still below Drew Brees. But then again, what Brees is doing don't shock me.
So is the thing here, in order to win the MVP, hold on, in order to win the MVP, is it you have to be shocked?
Yo, it's because
you expect it.
If you're
it's
not
like you
shocked,
expect it.
So wait a minute. Because Drew Brees is expected to be great.
There's a price for greatness.
And he's great.
Yep.
You're not the MVP. Now, I didn't know what to expect from this Patrick Mahomes kid.
You didn't.
And he gave me 45 touchdowns.
Yep.
I got him for MVP.
Yeah, he gave you 45 touchdowns and 900 more passing yards. More yards per attempt.
So we just going on shock value.
And what's the name? And a lower rating.
That's what it seems like. It's a shock value award.
And more yards per game.
But it sounds like it's a shock value award. Who impressed you? Like, wow, made you go, wow.
Yeah, so if they put out them numbers out right now, who impressed you more about having the season this year? This season right now, who's impressing you more with the numbers?
Right now?
Yes.
I would have said Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, thank you.
But not because of what you're saying about Drew Brees.
It had to be because say that Drew Brees was Dak Prescott and that was his numbers, would that stand out more?
What, Drew Brees?
Take Drew Brees' number.
Right.
Take Drew Brees out and put Dak Prescott right there. You'd be like, oh wow.
Yes,
if that was Dak Prescott?
Yes.
Yeah, because I have no expectation.
Okay.
But
have you wowed this?
But the question is, would that make me think of Dak as an MVP?
Yes.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't think if he put up those numbers right now, and the Cowboys were 11-3. You don't think he'd be in the
against Pat Mahomes?
You don't think he'd be in the MVP?
I think he'd be in the talk. But you're going to ask me the question: would I be shocked? Yes, I'd be shocked.
But would he be in the conversation?
Yes.
So right now, would you put Drew Brees over Patrick Mahomes?
No, but not because of what you're saying. You see what I'm saying?
Why not?
What you're saying is if Dak Prescott had Drew Brees' numbers, I would think he'd be in the MVP conversation. I would still give it to Pat Mahomes, give my vote to Pat Mahomes, because I think what Pat Mahomes did was better than what Drew Brees, a.k.a. Dak Prescott, did. Even though Dak Prescott, I would be totally shocked if he had those numbers and the Cowboys were 11-3. I would be stunned, but I still think.
So are you and shocked at Drew Brees' numbers?
No. But
so it is the eye test then.
But no, that's not why I'm not giving it an MVP.
No, I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you, are you and shocked at his numbers?
At Drew Brees?
Yes.
I'm shocked at his completion percentage, yes. I'm not shocked at his touchdown to interception ratio, no. Because I have certain...
Because you would expect that from him.
Right.
Now you look at Mahomes' numbers. Are you shocked at Mahomes' numbers?
I'm impressed by them.
No, you shocked because you did not expect 45 touchdowns when he was named
Hell no, nobody expected 45 touchdowns.
Oh, wow.
I don't
it is
know.
a visual test.
I mean, for a first-year starter, yeah, I'm a little bit like, wow, that's impressive.
If Drew Brees gave you those numbers, 45 touchdowns this time of the year, would you be like, oh, wow?
Yes,
No,
yes.
you wouldn't.
Yes, I would. No, that's not true. Ghost, let me tell you something.
Man.
No.
Hold
Hold on.
It would not shock you that Drew Brees
Yes,
had
it
45
would.
touchdowns.
If he had 45 touchdowns is a lot, Ghost. That's what I'm saying. 45 touchdowns for any quarterback to me is
if it
stunning.
came back and he said that nobody would even bat an eye. They would think that was
No,
out of the realm.
I've been honest with you. I've been honest with you. If Drew Brees went out there and had Pat Mahomes' numbers, I'd be like, Drew Brees, hand down, he's the MVP. 45 touchdowns, because 45. When you even look at the difference between the next best guy has 11 fewer touchdowns. Mm-hmm. 45 is what's the most touchdowns thrown in a year?
Was it
50?
55?
Is it?
That was that Peyton Manning. That was his. It was 55 he threw.
So think about that. With 2 games to go, he could break a record.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Luck has 34. He's probably not even going to get close to that record. He may not even get close to Patrick Mahomes.
So in a stretch, Drew Brees had 46, 43, 39, 33, 32, 37. Last year he had 23, and he had 31. So Drew Brees hit 45. It wouldn't be a shock to people.
To me, it would be. Because I don't expect any quarterback to throw for 45 touchdowns. That's what I'm saying.
Let's see something.
How many quarterbacks have thrown for 45 touchdowns in a year?
We'll find out.
Yeah. I'd like to know that, because that seems to me like an ungodly amount of touchdowns to have completed. I don't know.
We need some objective criteria for this thing.
I don't think there is any.
That's how people are going to pick, because they're going to look at what stands out to them. These are these voters.
I think you're right.
It's not like it's the MV the players voting. It's not peers voting, because peers are going to vote for the better player. People in the media are going to look at it and what stands out to them more.
Peyton Manning threw for 55 touchdowns in 2013. Okay.
You had Manning threw 55.
Right.
Brady threw for 50. Manning threw for 49. Marino threw for 48.
Well,
right. So think about that.
He would definitely be up with some all-time.
But hold on. Say that list again, because think about those guys.
That's what I was about to say. I'm saying.
You had how many? You had Manning 55, Brady 51,
50, Manning 49.
Okay.
Marino 48.
Right.
Breeze 46.
Right.
Mahomes 45. Aaron Rodgers 45.
So
Dan Marino 44. Breeze 43. Stafford 41. Kurt Warner 41. Andrew Luck 40. Aaron Rodgers 40.
All right, so look at the names that Mahomes is in. Those are all veteran quarterbacks, great quarterbacks, Hall of Famers.
I'm not disputing that.
But that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying if Breeze was right there, you wouldn't be that shocked.
I would still be shocked, because, again, to me, 45. How many guys have thrown for 45 or more?
And he just
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Only 6 quarterbacks in the history of the NFL have thrown for 45 or more touchdowns. That's shocking to me when anybody does it. That's what I'm saying. That's my fundamental point. That's all I'm saying. So if Drew Brees did it, if Phil Rivers did it, I would do it. Let's see. We got to call him. Caller 973. State your name. Where you calling from? You're in the game.
What's up? What's going on? It's Sean Lavelle, Mr. Baseball.
Mr. Baseball. What's going on?
Baseball?
Jump in here. Are you shocked? Who's the MVP in football?
Patrick Mahomes, rookie, first-year league. He has a shock value, and he's won the games with it, and he's exciting. He's my MVP for this year.
So wait a minute.
This is second year.
Second year, first-year starter.
So now you got to be exciting?
The first-year starter.
So now you got to be exciting in order to win MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
No, you don't have to be exciting, but I think he's brought more. He's brought more to the games. He's won more games, and also he's pulled out some games. Unlike my quarterback, Dak Prescott.
Now wait a minute.
He pulled out some games, and he was in that barn burner where he won. Would he beat the Rams?
Yeah,
or
we know we're gonna
Rams
say
the other week.
It's hard to rank a quarterback who was taken in the first round and quarterbacks who were taken later in rounds, because obviously the talent is a lot different. Pat Mahomes' talent in college was 1,000 times better than Dak Prescott's talent.
Mr. Baseball, we know you're also a football fan. Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
But we're talking about what this guy brought to his team and how he made them better.
Yeah, I'm just saying
he made them a better team, a more exciting team, and as well, he has the numbers to prove it.
Yeah,
Second-year guy, 44. And let me tell you something. I got another thing to say. Dan Marino threw his 48 touchdowns. These back then, 48 touchdowns with those cornerbacks were playing with Stickham and all that other type of stuff. Mark Duper and the other wide receiver, they were getting hammered. These guys, you can't even touch these guys, and they throwing 44, 45 touchdowns.
You know what? That's
when
a fair
Dan
point.
Marino did it. Who was the next guy behind Dan Marino's 48?
Go.
What do you mean?
In terms of who had the
Who was
next closest.
Who
What
was
year
the
was that
second
one?
place? Who was the
Marino did it
second
in
place that
84.
year that Dan Marino
That's a
threw
great
48
point.
touchdowns?
Marino did it-
Baseball.
That
Marino
year,
did it in 84.
those guys were still clotheslining people.
84, he threw for 48 touchdowns. That's a great point that I didn't even think about.
86, he did 44.
Wow. Wow.
And
that-
86, he did 44.
Yeah, that's crazy. And in this day and age, maybe I shouldn't be impressed by 45 touchdowns in this day and age. Maybe I should readjust my numbers because, like you said, Mr. Baseball, you can't touch guys. That's a great point. Now, talk to me about
Exactly.
Dak Prescott. Talk to me about Des Prescott. Give me your opinion on Dak.
Dak, I have to agree with you 100% on it. I love him as a person. I love him as a decision maker when you have to win an ugly game. But when you start to open it up, Ghost, the offense needs to run through Zeke Elliott. Because when this guy needs to make decisions and he has to pass the ball beyond 5 to 7 yards, I get nervous. This game was an effort game. They showed no effort. Maybe this was a hiccup game, like you said, Otis. Maybe I can see that. But just the same, you need to come to play. They didn't come to play at all.
No, they
They
didn't.
thought they were just going to go walk over these guys. You had Andrew Luck in his stadium, a rejuvenated Andrew Luck.
I agree with you. Turn your radio down. Turn your computer down back there because I can hear the echo. But I agree with what you're saying. It was an effort game. It didn't look like the Cowboys came to play. But could there be any silver lining to this, Mr. Baseball? Is it possible that this was a wake-up call for them and will maybe prepare them going forward? Is that possible?
I hope so, but the way I look at it is you weren't winning the division by 5 or 6 games. You weren't blowing out. You weren't 13-1, 12-2. You were only a couple of games up. So you're playing playoff games now. So you need to be putting your foot to the pedal to the floor now. So I'm hoping this is a hiccup game and they figure this out and they right the ship. It didn't never happen. Not in this fashion.
This is who they are. Like, they're not a 13-3 team. They're not a blowout team. They've been the same team. They've been the same team since game one. They've been inconsistent. They had a couple of plays, even in a 5-game winning streak, that just went their way, and they pulled the games out late. This is nothing new. This game, they just fell behind. They had bad plays. They got behind the chains, and they're not a team offense that can come from that because they're not creative enough. This is not. This is not a different Cowboys team.
That's what I said. It's the same Cowboys team. That type of game.
But no, it's the same Cowboys team.
But my thing is that it shouldn't be that type of game. You shouldn't. I mean, you should be playing hard, ready to grind out every week. Their offense runs through the running game through Zeke Elliott, not with that guy throwing bombs. It's not his game.
This is the same
it's not that type
Cowboy
of
team, man. I'm telling you, I don't know what y'all expected. This is the same team.
What I expected was an ugly game.
The same dry offense.
15 to 12 games. That's what I wanted.
The same dry offense that was run since when they won a 5-game winning streak. The same dry offense they ran from there. They're not calling different plays.
That's the offense that's going to win them. That's the offense that's going to win them games because you don't have to put the pressure on him to be able to make plays.
But they're not going to win
they got
that far
field goal block. The fullback drops the ball. Who even throws the ball to the fullback anymore? I didn't even know there was a fullback in football anymore. After William Faulkner busted out his knee. So I mean, what are we talking about here? They didn't come ready to play.
The play
and hopefully they can figure this. They can figure this out going out. And because there's not that much difference in the standing. I mean, think at it. The Giants just got eliminated. I know they had to do a myriad of things to be able to make it to the playoffs, but what should I tell you about the division?
The division been trash since game one. Man. All them teams have been trash since day one. I don't know why people got blinded by the 5-game winning streak. This is who they are.
Because we're not as objective as you, Ghost.
Like, come on. They've been trash since the game one. Where do you think they're going to go? If they'd have ran the table, what do you think they're going to do in the playoffs with that offense and Linehan calling plays?
I'm fired up now.
I'm not as objective as you. What do you want me to tell you? I'm emotional. I'm passionate. I thought when we won 5 games in a row, something may have clicked. Maybe all of a sudden we got started.
They became the Saints offense?
5 games in a row. 5 games in a row gives you something.
5 games in a row, but none of them were blowouts. They all were won by one possession.
They were the types of games that we needed to win, and that's the type of game I expected them to go for.
But
they
that's
did not show up at all.
That's not going to happen.
They
all the
did not
time.
show up.
If you win by one possession in low scoring games are going in overtime, it's because something goes right, and when the couple of plays you got going your way, it's not going to be an ugly game no more.
Keep hoping.
Now, Otis,
go ahead.
O-Dog.
Go ahead.
Can I weigh in on the NBA MVP?
I was going to ask you, who do you got for NBA MVP so far?
I like the Greek Freak. I like the Greek Freak. I like the numbers. I like what he's bringing to his team. I have to kind of agree with Ghost there. They're just doing what everybody else does. But here, he's elevating his team to number 2 in the standings.
You're wrong. LeBron James MVP.
He plays. I just like what he brings and he adds to the team around them and that energy. LeBron he's facilitating. He's doing what he usually does. Harden, he's doing what he usually does. But this guy, he's taking his team somewhere that they haven't been before in a while. Since Paul Presti and them were running up and down the court.
Hold on. So my question to you is this. Continued sustained greatness is not enough to win the MVP over improved performance that wows you. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay.
If they improve the team and he's bringing that team together and they're winning more games and they're looking to him, something to me.
Okay.
I mean, look, Andre Dawson and A-Rod won MVPs and they were on last place teams.
All right, finally, I'm going to ask you one baseball question. I'm going to ask you one baseball question. Ghost and I were talking about it off air. I know you talked about it in chat, but I'm going to get you on the record. Should the Yankees offer Machado $300 million, and should they pay him that? You had to think about that.
Unfortunately, $300 million is what the market bears. If that's what it is, do I think he's a $300 million player? No, but if he's willing to take that and willing to go back over to third base, the third baseman, and give Gregorius a shot to get back his job, I said, yeah. I say he's worth it because he's 26 years old. He's a young player. He's a star. I think Cano made a mistake when he left.
Who?
And took the more money. Robinson Cano when he left.
You never make a mistake
when he left New York to go to Seattle.
No, that's what I have to agree.
You never make a mistake taking $240 million.
Always take the money, Mr. Baseball.
And it's guaranteed? No, you
guaranteed money. You always take.
He didn't make no mistake.
Now hold on. Let me just tell you.
We're talking about winning championships and being a Yankee legend.
The Yankees win championships since he left.
Hold on now. Now, Mr. Baseball and I have this argument about whether or not college players should stay in college.
Hell no.
Thank you. Especially college basketball players.
I'm pulling a Kyrie. I'll go out there for 9 games, act like I blew my knee out, and sit down and get drafted. I am not playing for free. You're going to see my talent.
You know what?
And then I'm
you know
going
what?
to the league.
You know what? Ghost, I totally get it. I'm all for a young man. I'm all for capitalism.
No, you're not.
The truth of the matter is, the way I look at it, it's crappy basketball. Last Friday, I watched the Sixers play, and it was the ball. They were throwing the ball up and down the court like they were playing in Elmwood Park in East Orange.
All right, hold on, Mr. Baseball. Hold on, Mr. Baseball. Let me ask this. I'm gonna go to Coach V. Coach V, do you think the quality of the NBA is suffering because younger players are coming out and getting paid? Do you think that's a statement? Can you get behind Mr. Baseball's statement?
I do agree that the product.
Thank you.
Now hold on. Don't. Hey, hold on. Slow your roll now. Don't get all hyped up. All right. Do you think that college basketball players should stay in college to develop their craft more, or if you get drafted, should you go? If you think you can be drafted, should you go to the NBA and get paid?
If you can go to the NBA, get drafted, and get paid, then yes, you should.
See what I'm saying,
yes.
Mr. Baseball? Don't get crazy.
I'm not. And here's the thing. I'm not disagreeing with that point. My point is that the problem is that the talent level is so low now. The threshold of what you think is a good player isn't there anymore.
Well, not everybody.
These guys can't play. They just can't play anymore like they used.
But that's on the team to evaluate the talent a little better, right?
That's exactly what I said.
They're not just giving out. They only have 2 rounds of draft picks.
And that's on the team to do a better
everybody
job
that
of
leaves
scouting.
early is not getting drafted.
Thank you.
You got to pick the better talent.
Thank you.
If everybody's sitting there, if you got to pick the better talent, then why is it when you're looking at These guys, look. I was watching play. Ed Davis. Remember Ed Davis played for North Carolina? Coach Reed, you remember Ed Davis, a lefty guy?
Yeah.
He ended up going to Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
He really hasn't done anything in the league. Remember Marvin Williams? He was on the North Carolina championship team.
Yeah, he was.
He's really turned into a glorified role player in the NBA.
How many years
if
he
he'd
been
have
in the league?
stayed another year or went into a minor league system,
but how many years
he would
did he
have been a
get
much better
paid?
star player.
How many years has he been in the league?
Much more productivity and efficiency.
You don't know that to be true. He could have stayed another year in college and still been the same player.
How many years he been in the league?
Just because he's been in the league that many years,
they're not holding on to bums.
That's
Let's
true.
cut it out. They're not holding on to bums because they draft people every year. They're not just going to give him money for this to be a bum and take a spot. He got to be good enough to hold that role. They can get somebody else who's younger and cheaper.
There you go.
So
yeah,
it's not, they're not just holding on to bums.
Who's also have the same lack of the league. Coach V, please weigh on in it. The league
You're looking for
is
help.
full of role players.
You're falling.
These guys are not multi-skilled. They can't shoot. They don't even know spacing anymore.
Listen.
They don't even know how to throw passes. They don't even know how to throw a bounce pass anymore.
Who falls that? Because, seniors do come out when these young guys step out, too, then draft the player who's been there longer.
Thank you. That's on the team scouting department to do a better job of drafting the correct and quality player. Mr. Baseball, we've had this argument. Coach V, I'll give you the last word.
I will say, I hear all the time that the players are more not skilled, they're more athletic. They say skilled, but I don't think they're skilled. They're just more athletic. And what I really feel is when I saw the shenanigans that was going on in Chicago with the supposed mutiny they want to have, calling the unions, talking about, can we have a practice? Is that legal for us to have a practice after 2 days? I'm like, dude, this is your job. You're supposed to go to work. You're not guaranteed. It's not in a collective bargain agreement that you're supposed to get that day off of back to back. If your boss wants you to come to work, you come to work. That's what you do. However, young people don't understand that.
But if it's in the contract and it's what they negotiated.
It's not. It is not.
They ask. It's all they do is ask. If it's in the contract, then that's what they get.
It's not in the contract. It's just tradition in the NBA. They're not good. They need to practice. They're entitled millennials who are millionaires, thanks to people like Otis, and I don't have a problem with them.
You're damn right. I want to make millionaires as young as possible.
Like Coach V. They're more athletic, not necessarily more fundamentally skilled.
But you know what? Teams actually draft the athletic, fundamentally skilled players, right? So who's at fault?
All right, I gotta go. Hey, Coach V, any chance we get any comments?
Any comments about what?
Like you do your grade comments on the NFL.
We'll get back to that next week.
I do that. Okay, and we just got progress notes. I just did progress notes, so I could be giving them out right now.
All right, Mr. Baseball.
Good night, everybody. Talk to you later. See you next week.
Talk to you later. There will be no show next. Hold on. There'll be no show next week, as you know. Next week is Christmas. You can hear the Christmas music playing in the background. I am a Christmas music geek. I don't know if you know, there's a station in the New York area that starts right after Thanksgiving, and they play nothing but Christmas music. And Ghost, I listen to that all the time.
They do that on Sirius, too.
On Sirius, they have the Holiday Soul Christmas station that I listen to.
I used to share an office with somebody who they would play Christmas music, and I would just turn my most ignorant rap music on. In my office.
So you are the Grinch, is what you're saying.
No, I just don't need to hear Christmas music after Thanksgiving.
So when is a good time to start?
Thanksgiving.
No, when is a good time to start?
Good time to start?
Yeah.
Christmas. Morning. Christmas Eve.
I love this crazy.
This is nothing for me.
I love this crazy. Wait a minute. This don't get you in the spirit?
No. Spirit of what? Christmas is what? It's becoming just a global money maker.
See,
it's not even about. It's become materialistic. That's all it is.
Here's the thing. You know what? I used to be the same way, but I just stopped buying presents for people, and now I realize I'm happy. So then, how is it a global money maker? You don't care. You ain't buying nobody presents.
It's not. I'm not saying make it off of me. I'm just saying what it's become. But behind it,
I love the trees. I love the decorations.
I like to see kids joy in their faces when they open. Like I will go places like my family and see Christmas because I like to see the kids be happy with what they get and stuff like that.
So
but
you got
I'm not
Christmas
gonna be like, ooh.
Yeah, you got some spirit.
I still ain't gonna be playing Christmas. You can listen to the kids talk. I mean, we ain't gonna be.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, it's been a tremendous year. This is the last show of the year because next Tuesday is Christmas. The following Tuesday is New Year's Eve. We will join you back January 8th, God willing. Folks, we appreciate your time. We appreciate your love. We appreciate your support. For all the people that supported us this year, Mr. Baseball, Mr. Jet, whoever. I don't want to leave anybody out. Drunk Out Black Falcon, Knocker and them.
Yeah.
Real Josh Pacheco. Check them out on Wednesdays if you want more sports. They're on Sportscast on the Real Josh Pacheco YouTube site. But if you love hip-hop, keep it locked tomorrow night, live in the Cypher. Ghost, who you reviewing tomorrow night?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see.
All right, so keep it locked. You know, I'm always...
we shout out Hector.
Oh, yeah,
Jamal
absolutely.
Murphy.
All our guests that come on, especially our family members like Jamal Murphy that come on, Gerard Hector that comes on, Scoop B that comes on, all the guests that come on and have come on in the past, we appreciate their time, we appreciate their insight, and we appreciate them helping to make the show just a little bit better. You know, we're going to come back strong in January. We're going to keep getting better. We're going to keep giving you great shows, and we're going to keep doing what we love, which is talking sports on Tuesday night. And as we always say, you cannot play the game unless you are in the game. Stay in the game, folks. See you January 8th.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Stay safe.